Fuminji, 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 Fuminji. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to another Oy'Nissh vlog. So today I am revisiting Dalhousie Castle foraging area. So in a previous video, I did part one where during early February, I visited the place and most of the wild garlic were quite small. So at this point, I'm expecting them to be halfway mature. I'll be surprised if there's any to be foraged at this time. Maybe few, I guess, and you might have some flowering. But I don't expect to see many of them as large as the ones that I saw in New Battle, because the ones in Dalhousie Castle Park region or woodland were a lot smaller, and there was this particular flat land area in one area in the woodland that I could hardly find wild garlic, and the ones that I saw were very small. So I'll be surprised if they are large now, you know, obviously with the additional water they get and the foliage, which is rich in nutrients. I expect them to grow, but not so fast. However, if they do, well, that's good. So I'm like 1 minute away from the main road, and then I'll be going under the bridge and into the woodland. Oh, loads of dogs today. Hear that? Look at that. Okay. I didn't expect this. Loads of them. Their play area. Well, there we go. They're happy. Hello. So that's Dalhousie in the background. To the left, that, let me see if I can point to it. So it's right there. Me. So I am curious, especially for the people in Europe. I know that Germany have much wild garlic, because I've read some papers where, well, not read because I don't speak German or read much German either. So I saw some articles. Most of the articles I see on wild garlic comes from Germany. I'm talking about European articles. So I want to believe there are loads in Germany. But where else will you find wild garlic? In the UK, yes, and Ireland. Okay, so we are approaching Dalhousie. And as I mentioned in the past, they're doing some refurbishing. So I'm imagining that by summer, hopefully by summer, they'll be finished. And then all the tourists can come and enjoy this amazing place. They probably have some tourists there, I don't know. But the last time I checked, they were refurbishing. And yeah, so this is Dalhousie. I'm back. It's now April. No, the last week in March. Today's actually the 31st. So that's Dalhousie, right? So I'll be going down that road, and then I'll start videoing when I reach the woodland. So the woodland is just over there, so that's where I'm going to start again. So but I'll be going down this area, this road, and under the bridge. So I'll catch you. Okay, so I'm starting where I started the last time, past the castle behind me, and I'm now into the woodland. So the real question is, Are the wild garlic large enough and more visible? Obviously, they are. The last time I passed by, they weren't as visible as this. They were a lot smaller. They were about this size, most of them. But as you can see, just as I enter the path, you can start to see loads of it already. Look at that. I didn't even have to go far, and it's there. No, those ones are still small, not ready for another month or so. But as you can already see, that it's now popping up all over. They were already there, mainly beneath the leaves, but definitely, well, I didn't um, check this side the last time. Um, this part, I mean, as you can see, loads of it, all this region. And I expect them to be this size because when I checked the first time, they weren't piercing through as much as they do now through the leaves. Last year, autumn leaves. But now, with all that rain and the rich soil, nutrients they get from the autumn leaves, etc., the cane wood, they are now flourishing. And the place now is now carpeted with the vegetable. Okay, look at this. Look how carpeted the region is. It's amazing, isn't it? It's like this organic or natural carpet. You know, you can just get your towel and lie on it, you know, and then go and stink of garlic, and then they chase you out of the house. You know it goes. I dropped something. Oh my goodness. Yes, but just look, amazing. And they're not as large and as I've predicted that they would have been this small because they were playing catching up with the ones done by New Battle, which were a lot larger. The ones in New Battle were almost this size already. So I'm not surprised that it's like this now. I think I just broke the the vlogging stick. I lost piece of it. Now I have to use my hand to hold the the um the phone instead of using the stick. Apparently it broke off, and the thing is, the piece that broke off happened to be green. Can you imagine? It had to not black, you know, it had to be green, and it fell into a bed of wild garlic. And for the life of me, I can't see it. It just blended in. I think that's it, gone. Gosh, the things I have to do for the seasonal vegetable, the sacrifices you make, I'm telling you. Oh my goodness. Well, I brought my container, so hopefully I'm going to continue down and check other areas, especially in the first video I went into this flat land I told you earlier on. I need to go and check if the wild garlic plants are a lot more pronounced. I expect them to be the same size as these ones, but if they are large, I'll be surprised. However, I now have to use my hand because I lost the piece that was keeping the camera to the rest of the stick, and apparently it's green, so that's that gone. Well, what can I say? Anyhow, I'll continue my journey, and it's a shame. It was so handy, but yeah. Nonetheless, life goes on. Okay, so I'm practically retracing my steps from the last time I visited in February, the beginning of February. But no, as you can see, it's look at these ones. This is a nice size. Still have a little bit to grow, a little way to grow. But as you can see now, the woodland is carpeted with the seasonal vegetable. It's just so awesome. Ah, look at this. See, this one is big enough, and you can see the flower down here. The weed. This is it. So that means this one isn't ready to flower no time. It means that it'll be growing some more possibly. Oh my word. Oh, you could just roll off the hill. No, don't roll off the hill. No, that's a bad idea. You'd be like Humpty Dumpty, I'm telling you. Don't roll off this hill. There are a lot of sharp stuff that will stick you and jag you and cut you and dismantle your bones. Just walk down gently and enjoy the view. Just look at that almost bed-like area. So those plants in that area can tell from here that they're quite tall and forageable, right? Just this bit here, I'm going to take you down there, but I can see from afar that they are tall enough and soon be ready. I won't be surprised if some of them have flowers nearing the top and ready to bloom soon, right? So it means that the water would have run off the hill because of gravity. All the autumn leaves from last year would have been decaying, all that nutrients and the soil and the constant rain in the UK. That means you have this rich area, and the plants that are expected to be a lot smaller are already large. Look at this. Yes, this is great. Just look at this bit. So I was wrong. I can't believe it. I was wrong that I was expecting them to be smaller, but they've played catch up. Definitely, they've caught up with the others from New Battle that I visited last week. These ones have catch up. They're the same size, but it didn't look so apparently the last time I came about seven. Well, I guess if you're talking about 6 weeks ago, 7 weeks, because this is the end of March now. We're going into April, right? So that's enough time for them to grow. But these are good size. Look at this. This is a nice bunch. Just this one alone. Just look. Look how many bulbs it would have taken to get this bunch grown this big. Look how lush it is. Yes. Just take it down this side too. Oh, I can't believe it. Just just look everywhere. Oh, everywhere, I'm telling you. It's amazing. Let me take some picture in the meantime to put the video when I'm editing it. Just look how lush it is. Let me see if I can get some closer. No, hide my finger. Yeah, this one is. Yeah, right. So I'm going to carry on. Me. These ones are tiny though. Yeah. So this is what they look like the last time I came. Most of them. So it's good to know that at least these ones will come into play. Let's say May, late April going into May. So at least the season is extended that far. Just go back on this main bit. Okay, so I'm continuing on the path down to um, the river area. So, so for people who are in Gorebridge, not what we're talking about Gorebridge, no, um, Bonny Rig, because Bonny Rig is not far from here, but also Gorebridge. I would say Gorebridge is also close by. If I'm sure this bit can take you to Gorebridge, depending on where you walk, more on the other side. So let me ask, is there anyone in Bonny Rig, Gorebridge, or in the neighboring area to Dalhousie that does forage for wild garlic in this region? What is it like, and what are some of the recipes that you create from this seasonal vegetable? And if you don't eat wild garlic, what are some of the, the concerns you have regarding it? Because it's edible, but I don't know if you have many Scottish people who eat it. I always said it's like spinach, you know. It's like spinach that's already flavored with garlic. So you just stir fry it. You don't have to buy garlic and add to it because it's already flavored that way. And no, the texture of it is amazing, you know. The texture of the leaf is very thin and very delicate. So you can have it raw. Obviously, you always have to wash your vegetables and wash it thoroughly. Be it to buy it in the supermarket or you forage for it. You always have to wash your vegetable, right? So now the leaves are nice and tender, and they're best now for salad. So if you do have potato and you want to make a potato salad, instead of using the onion or spring onion, wild garlic would be a good alternative because it's already flavored with that nice garlic taste. But I guess one of the downside is many people don't like garlic, so maybe that's the turn off. But maybe this is a year to add that to your bucket list, you know? Try out garlic. Um, Maybe if you eat it as a plant, as it is tasted in wild garlic, the plant itself, it might be easier than just the garlic clove, you know? But I don't know. Everybody have their different concern regarding wild garlic or garlic itself. So I'm going to turn the camera around and then I am going to show you another part that I came to the last time. Right, so I came down this bit where I show you some bulbs, which would be difficult to see now because most of the leaves are now taller and broader. So I don't know if it would be easy to see the bulbs at this stage. But let me see. Yeah, it's hard to see any bulbs at this stage because of the leaves. But as you can see, it's a lot different from the last time because the leaves surprisingly are larger. The Vominji leaves are larger, you know. So I'm just so surprised that it catch up with the size of the ones that's in New Battle in Dalkeith, you know. Just goes to show, if in the right location with the right amount of nutrients and water supply, plants will flourish. And no one really um, care for these stuff. They just grow on their own and they do their own thing. And look how lush it is. Just look how lush this bit, and with the sun gleaming on top of the leaves, like this pathway saying, "Go straight to success." Yes, success on my plate. Amazing. So let me continue down. So I'm hoping once I retrace my steps from the last time, um, then I'll do a third part of the vlog now where I forage for some and make recipes with the wild garlic I collect here. Now, That would be a plus because I wouldn't like to come this far and not get some. So most time when I go foraging, I always walk with container at this time of the year because it means that on my way back I can just take some home. So I'm not going to do the foraging now. I'm doing part two of the vlog wherein I'm just investigating um the areas that have been in part one of the Dalhousie Castle spa and hotel search for wild garlic. This is part two, and I'm just investigating how large they are in comparison to the one at New Battle. And then in part three, I'll make sure forage for some that I can take home and then make something of it. I don't know, I'll have to make up recipe. You know, when you get access to so much free resources, I'm talking about food, you can create new dishes, give them names, even if it's funny. Just make up dishes, you know? Okay. Yes, I came this way. No, let me pause the video a bit because this is a dangerous path. Okay, so the last time I came here in part one, I passed this very dangerous area. It was wet and slippery, and there's this sheer drop into the water. I know if the last time I passed by and fell over, well, maybe I wouldn't be here today making the vlog. Well, I guess I had my bag on my back, so chances are I would float, you know. And I don't think it's that deep, but it's that it's very cold. So I was very careful the last time. So I went that direction, I didn't return because it was that treacherous, right? Now this time I'm going the same direction. The question is, will I fall over into the water? Oh gosh. You know, it is the shorter journey, but it's more dangerous, you know? So I don't know if I should walk there because it's just so slippery and muddy. And possibly it had rained yesterday or the day before, so I don't know how wet it is. But I'm going to go now. You'll hear about it in the grapevine, whatever happened, right? If I make it out at the other end, then you'll know that, well, God is good, you know. But I guess if I have to go swim, then God is still good. So I'm going to turn the camera around and journey along with me. This is the most dangerous part of the journey. Okay, so that's me starting the journey. One of the pluses is that I've got a nice walking shoes, waterproof shoes with good grip. So that's a good start, right? But I'm in need, no interest for swimming at this point, right? So, and to make matters worse, right? I lost part of the camera stick that I was carrying. As I said it earlier on, it happened that the part that I lost is green. So there goes that. So now I have to hold it by my hand. So I don't want to having to lose the camera falling into the water. Remember the last time I passed here? They were quite tiny. In part one of the Dalhousie Castle Spa and Hotel walk, this area that that was in the video was very Shallow. Oh yes, here's the bulb. You could see the bulbs a lot more pronounced. You see this one? Right. Look at all these leaves. Yeah, the nutrients. And look, here are some other bulbs. Let's get a picture. So this is wild garlic, almost cliffing it. Look at that. You know, so it's all the way up. Look at that. So we're not quite there at the most dangerous part yet, but I can see the leaves are wet too. But they're not as slippery, maybe because the shoes have good grip. Right. Okay, people, so I'm nearing that path now. Gosh. So now, you see, the elevation has gone up significantly. And see that sheer drop. The water is shallow, but cold. Goodness. What's wrong with me? What's wrong with people these days? Having to put their life at risk for green vegetables. Oh, goodness. Okay, here we go. Here. So this bit is really slippery. Thank God it doesn't look as wet as the last time, but it's still wet and dangerous, very dangerous. And this is the sheer drop I'm talking about. You roll over and you're gone down to oblivion. So, my goodness. See? So that's what I was worried about. So now I have to take my time and gosh, one step at a time. Oh goodness. Okay, so this bit is better. You see? Gosh. Look. Could you imagine me rolling off like Humpty Dumpty? Oh goodness. Oh Jesus. Have mercy on me. I know it looks silly, but you don't want to be rolling off into that water off the hill. Just imagine the drama that make a movie out of it. My goodness. Thank you, Jesus. Ooh, it's not fully finished yet. The last time I came, I didn't walk this way because I think there was a tree in the way and it was a lot more slippery. But it's still a deep depression going down that way, right? So I don't think anybody's crazy enough to walk along here. That would just be asking for it. Well, I guess there would be a bit deep there too, so I don't know who they would have crossed over. But you never know. People are adventurous. You have daredevil people, they are climbing up buildings with their bare hand. So that's one step too far. Give me wild garlic challenge. No way. Climbing up building. What's wrong with people? It's like people. Ah, gosh. Some people just born with certain stuff, you know. They're probably able to climb up the building, but then they see a rat and they run away. But you never know. People vary in what scare them. So we're not far from the plane. Or not the plane, the flat land. So it's big part of the woodland that's just flat. And the last time I came, the wild garlic were just so difficult to locate until nearing the end of the walk, I saw some. So now I'm guessing if they've reached that size that it's more visible. Okay, so I came this way the last time and lo and behold, look what we've seen. There is wild leek, loads of it. The last time I was saying that the thing that was more pronounced was wild leek, and look at it, it's everywhere. So I'm looking for wild garlic and I'm seeing the other one already, loads of it, wild leek everywhere. And please note that yes, there is wild leek, but please note that you can see the distinction between this leaf and that one. One is lighter green, and the lighter green one is the wild leek or plemunje. This one is a flower. I don't know what it is, what the name of it is. So sometime in a foraging for stuff, you just have to be mindful what you're taking up and putting it in your mouth. So, shall we find wild garlic? Large and beautiful? Or will they be still tiny? I'm guessing that they haven't grown as much yet. I believe they'll come in later. That's my prediction. No. Do you believe that's what's going to happen? Or you think that when I reach there, as opposed to part one, when I made the vlog, in this very same area when they were very tiny and I have to search for it, do you believe this time around they'll be the same size as on the hilltop that I showed you the last just few minutes ago? Well, we'll see. So far, I'm not seeing any wild garlic, so it must be that this part doesn't have much of it. I don't even see wild leek, so I'm not going to draw any conclusion yet. I'm heading down further to the sweet spot or the sweet plain. What am I calling? I'm giving it name. Sweet plain. Sweet plain. What's wrong with me? People must be saying, this guy spent too much time with plants. He start to look like plant. He start to smell like plant. He is plant. Well, I guess that's what happens if you aim to become a vegan. You become plant-like, I guess. So here you go. Welcome to the world of plant life, peeps. So I'm just going to follow the track. I'm not going to go inland because I know I wasn't successful in that region the last time. So I'm just going to count it out. And I'm not seeing any sign of it. Except here, there are few signs of wild garlic already. And they're quite small. So I'm correct that they're coming in a lot later. So that's okay. Give them time. They'll be around for June. May, June. At least some of them will be around for May, June if they're that smaller. And there are still some, I didn't check along the waterway here, the river. So there are some there too along that side. You can start to see that. Let me just take you down here. So it's a good sign. So they are here. See? They're small, but it's fine. They can't all come into season at the same time. Some should come in later on in the next month or so, or the next few weeks. So it means that there's an extended time for people to harvest this tasty vegetable. Okay, so if I'm correct, I should approach that region in the next couple of minutes. It's a big area, so don't be surprised if I have to go far to spot stuff. Notice that this region is empty, so I have no idea why, like in some woodland in the middle there you'd be able to find loads of wild garlic, but in this part, mainly in the edges, at least in this section rather, right? So we've got some wild garlic there, but I don't know why. I don't know, because they get water supply, but I'm wondering if it's because of the trees. It can't be, because even in Dalkeith Country Park, they're growing amidst the trees and they're flourishing. So I don't know why in this area you can only see few of them. Look, so few of them are coming up. You barely see anything, and all that bit seem to be empty. I don't know why. But further down, I'm expecting loads. So let's continue the journey. Okay. Oh, look, wild leek. And amidst the wild leek, we've got the wild garlic. That's what I said would have been the result. That's what the result was the last time. So they are now growing. So, right. So here we are. So this is the size I'm expecting. Because when I came the last time, they were very small. So this size is expected. Now, notice how small this one is. I think the others that I saw earlier on would have been that same size, but apparently the ones up the hill are a lot larger now than this, a lot more lush. And look at this one, it starts to flower. I don't know why. So this one is already showing flowers, and it's not even. Look how tiny it is. I don't know. Okay, could it be because it's near the part when it doesn't get much nutrients? I don't know. Or is it global warming? Why is it flowering so early? Look how tiny it is. Gosh, I don't know. Now the botanists and the biologists and the plant scientists probably could give me some tips. Cause I done it can. Okay, let me go in. The last time I came, I viewed this bit, and dotted amongst the wild leek were wild garlic, and expected they're small. Yeah. So you have the wild garlic and you have got the wild leek. And this wild leek is already flowering. So so this is expected. Yeah. And they are nowhere near flowering, the wild garlic that is. So they still have a way to go. So I don't think it's great foraging in this bit because it's still got a way to go, yeah? So let me continue. And you remember I went up this bit in part one of the Dalhousie castle vlog that I did in February. So I'm going to retrace my steps, and spot on, the wild garlic are growing. Not as fast as I would have hoped, but I expected them to be this small because at least I know they are growing. The last time I came, I couldn't see much of these ones. See this bed here? This wasn't that pronounced. It was there, but very small. But now you can see that bed. So that's good. And remember, I made the distinction between the wild leek and the wild leek and the wild garlic. So this is wild leek. No, this is a flower, and this is the wild garlic. You can see how broad it is. In between here is ground elder. Look at it, ground elder. Oh, ground elder, I forgot. Ground elder. Ground elder. No, ground elder is edible. These are nice for salads. You don't have to cook them. You can just wash them thoroughly and put them in your salad. your nice spring salad with potato. Very nice. But yes, I can see signs of growth. So things are coming on okay in this bit. So that's nice. But the entrance to or nearing the castle, I believe there are better options for foraging for wild garlic. Maybe because this area is still yet weeks away from reaching peak maturity or reaching maturity. Um, so I can't judge no while they're this small. They have a way to go yet. And I was expecting this. So that's that. Let me see. Down this way. No, down this way, there was hardly anything. Look, little ones coming up. Wild garlic, that is. And so the journey, I think, will be. Let's see. You can just tell this area is bare. You might have the odd wild garlic, like you can see here. It's coming through now. See it? It's coming through. So these must be the late ones. It looks bare now, but it comes through nonetheless. Maybe, as I said, going April, May, then this section would be a lot more pronounced. But for now, hardly anything visible. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, so these are some observations that I've made, that sometime in various locations, even in two different regions in Midlothian, some come in earlier than others, and it means that the wild garlic spread over a couple of months. Everything doesn't come into season one time, so the foraging season is extended by reason of the plants coming into maturity at different time. So we've come to the end of this part of the vlog. Now let me turn the camera around and speak a bit. The last time I came, I finished at this very spot, right? But I did say that in the past, I remember continuing along this part, there's another part of the woodland that you've got wild garlic. And indeed, when I went to that side, at the lower part, there were wild garlic plants, right? Or Vominji or Ramson. But what surprised me was, if I'm sure that there was a year I was on the hilly part of it and there were loads of wild garlic. But when I went there 6 or so weeks ago, I couldn't find any. So I was saying to myself, is my mind playing trick with me, or something have happened in the woodland? So what I'm going to do this time, right? I'm going to go down to that section, and I'm expecting the lower part of that side of the woodland, you'll find the wild garlic a lot larger and even forageable, right? But what I want to do is to check on the hilly side to confirm if something had really changed, that there isn't any wild garlic, and that maybe the year before my mind was playing trick on me, or maybe they are coming through now. So just bear with me. This is a test, you know. So I'm going to journey along and follow me, and let's find out if there's any wild garlic on the hill. Okay, so I have Arrived at the next part of the woodland. It's a smaller part, but a part of it nonetheless. And the river is to my left, the woodland to my right, and the fields also. So I'm expecting wild garlic to be at the base because I saw some the last time, so I'm expecting them to be larger. What I'm concerned about is that I won't see any on the hilltop. And I can guarantee you, the last time I checked for wild garlic in this area, I saw some on the hilltop. So I don't know if I'm going crazy. Is it the wild garlic causing me to go crazy, or am I correct? And to make matters worse, I think the rain start to fall now. Welcome to foraging life. It's full of drama. Okay, and off I go. So as you can see, all that green that you can see there is the wild garlic. So this is the bottom part of the woodland. So as expected, loads of it. And some forageable. Some are still quite small, but definitely you can get forageable bunches. I'll go up that way to the hilly side, right? Let me see. Yeah, I'll go up that way to the hillside. But so this is the bottom half, and it's lush. Some plants smaller than others, but lush nonetheless. Even along the hillside. So let me show you. And the rain is coming down, down, down. It's coming down. Bum, 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 bum. And even on that side, you've got wild garlic too, but obviously that's for another trip, another day. Yup, wild garlic. See, these are nice ones. See, there are some large ones, even this bit. You see this bit here? Those ones are large, even along there. And you have some large ones up there too. Some ready to be cut. So that's good. Some correct regarding the bottom half of this section of the woodline. Alright. Even going up that way, there's wild garlic. Yes? So, oh, I've never gone this far. Oh, oh. I think I'm getting carried away. No, turn back. Turn back. That's not the plan. The rain is coming. So, let me go and check the hilltop. If anything, check there first before I go down that way. So yes, definitely wild garlic is here, right? No, the hilltop. So notice you can see the wild garlic going all the way up to the hill there, right? Up to that bit. So what I'm concerned about is beyond there, if there's wild garlic, because the last time I came, I couldn't see any unless I'm as blind as a bat. I was like, what's wrong with me? I can't even see any. And I wasn't even rushing or anything. And so, I don't know. So, I'm going to double check because I must have missed it the last time. So, it's good to check again, to see that, to confirm our, to confirm what you think things are. Right. I'm looking for a way out. No. Yeah, let me see the best way to go up the hillside. So there's wild garlic there. Right. Gosh. Can't believe I have to be going all this bit for this green gem. So loads of wild garlic here. Good. And here we've got some wild garlic too. So yes. So I know. So there we go. So there we go. At the base of the hill, right? Fine. This side that is. On that side there's wild garlics for sure. And here we can already start to see some. Right? So there's a little patch there. There's one there. There's a larger one here, right? And we've got all the way to here. What I'm concerned is up that side, if it's just wild leek or there's wild garlic. Because I couldn't see any the last time. Yes, so have you ever been have you ever experienced um thinking you have seen something when it's not really there? So I know the last time I didn't see any, I did in part one record it. So hopefully it's there in the vlog for you to see. So it's bugging me. I can see wild garlic here at the base, but up there, I don't want to be wrong. I don't want to be wrong because I just feel defeated and deflated, you know? So I have to make my way through all this. I don't know why I didn't go back on the main path. What's wrong with me today? I spend so much time with the wild garlic. Start to get to your brain. I'm joking. Don't let me discourage you. Okay, I'm going to turn the camera around and up the hill. Okay, I need to cross over that ditch and then up the hill. And then I will see if I was correct the last time, the last year or so when I came. Just cross over. La 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 la. Okay, so there's wild garlic. See wild garlic here, and even along here, yeah, wild garlic, and even there, look, wild garlic. Okay, so for a fact, there's wild garlic there. Okay, so what was the problem the last time? I must have missed it. And there's wild garlic. So now we're going to the bit that I didn't see any, and it bugged me. I couldn't sleep. Just this big emptiness. So there, so so the, so there's some wild garlic, some vominji, yeah. They're just not in the interior of the hill. So you see, it's at the edges mainly. So why did I say there was wild garlic in the hilly bit? I don't know why. Okay, come on, man up and check. Come on, wild garlic. Present yourself to me. Right. The good thing about foraging too is the exercise. It's so organic. It's not something you really plan saying I'm going to exercise. It just happened because you have to walk through these bits. And it's so nice. Okay. Where is the wild garlic? So I came here the last time. right? And I saw these. Well, here's one. Here's one. There is one. So, and there's a flower already. I don't know what this hilltop is telling me. I don't know if this is a ghost hilltop. Do you think it's a ghost hilltop? Keep changing each year. Thank goodness. My head must be off the charts. Just one garlic plant. Well, one on the hilltop is still evidence of it. So I'll rest with that. I thought there would have been more, but disappointed on the hilltop. But on that side though, that's the thing. On that side there's wild garlic, you see? Well, I can't see from here, can you? No. What am I saying? Silly me. I need to take you. Get out of this tree. I feel the tree's trying to hug me up and choke me to death. Get out. Right. So I need to get over on the other side. Maybe I was entering the wrong side of it. Alright. Let me see if I can cross over some way. I know I must have made a mistake. The last time I came, I don't think, maybe it's here I came. Let me go further down. I must have made a mistake. The last time I came, I don't think it was through here. It must have been, let me check further down here. Maybe I climbed the wrong hill. So let's hope that I'm not wrong. That there is wild garlic. There's another entry point here, I think. This one. Yeah. Let me walk there. Okay. So this is another part of the hilltop. So I was wrong and I was right. I was wrong in that the last time I came, it wasn't on that side that I was. It was on this side because I mentioned there's wild garlic on the hilltop the last time and I didn't see any because I didn't come on this side and there it is. Oh, what's wrong with me? There's the wild garlic. Yeah, plenty of it. I was just on the wrong side of the hill. Oh, there you go. See? I knew it. I was on the wrong side. Is it possible to be on the wrong side of history? Just like how it is possible to be on the wrong side of the vegetable patch? Well, I guess there's a lesson to be learned here. Double check, triple check if needs be. I didn't come on this side the last time in part one. All I had to do was to cross over. Oh, silly. There you go, wild garlic. I'm telling you. This one isn't that bad. Look at it. Nice and clean. You can tell it was drizzling. You can see the raindrops. And they're coming on nice. And most of them haven't started flowering yet, meaning that they're still growing, which is good. Here's a nice thick bunch. Close stuff. And there are the wee flowers coming up. It's nice, isn't it? So, in concluding this vlog, Firstly, as predicted, the wild garlic have grown larger, but I was wrong in one way that the nearing the Dalhousie castle where the car park is, just across from there, there's this region that had wild garlic in part one of this video that I did in February. But the plants were a lot smaller, so I expected them to be smaller, but they were a lot larger and ready to be foraged, right? So that in that way I was surprised. Secondly, I wasn't surprised that on the plain of this particular region in the woodland, there weren't much wild garlic. Some of them were starting to come through and more visible, but they weren't as much as in other area. And lastly, I decided to double check in this area because in the last time I was on that side of the hill where there wasn't any wild garlic. When in previous time I came on this side behind me where I saw the wild garlic, and I couldn't sleep because I said I must have been wrong. Something must be wrong with my mind. But then I realized I was over on the other side there, and I saw the greenery. It's like, oh, there was another part to come on this side, and I missed it the last time. See, and the rain was falling, and it stopped now, so that's a plus. The next thing is to forage for some, so that I can take home and make a dish out of it. And I think I should make up a dish. I love making up dishes, give them funny name. Because when you have so many free vegetables to work with, you can experiment, you know. So I'm going to forage for some. Now that I'm on the hilltop, I might as well just stay on the hilltop, and forage for some.